Hey everybody, today I have a special guest on the Danielle Moore Show. Hi
What's
CaNino,
going
how
on,
are
y'all?
you?
Doing pretty good.
Yes, we are going to speak on your album, The Scarecrow Man, isn't that correct?
It's a single, yeah.
Yes, well, I like to speak into the future, so it will eventually be a part of your album, correct?
Eventually,
So,
yep.
yes, what is going to be the name of the full album?
Um, Scarecrow Man,
So I
definitely.
was correct. Do you see this? Anywho, well, I want to let everyone to know why, to me, I picked this special day to give out your dynamic story. I'll tell a little bit of the things. You were once with Warner Brothers. What
Yeah,
part of
through
the?
Tascott,
Yes,
yep,
yes,
Tascott Records.
yes. How was that experience with them? How did you like that?
It was awesome. I mean, I learned a lot. It
Okay.
took me to a different platform as far as this music. I was able to meet a lot of different people, learn a lot about the music industry, and it just feels good to be part of the various different artists that actually made it out of Pittsburgh.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And we'll get to that later, but there's a lot more coming. That's another reason why I respect you because you're a veteran in this. You already have gotten where people want to be, and you are given to others now to help them to be in that position. But we'll get to that
Yes.
later. I would like to get to this handsome man that you have sitting next to you. What's your name?
My name is Ernie, man.
Okay.
Really Ernest, but I like to be called Ernie.
Okay, well, I will call you Ernie. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, you are a very, very important part of this story. And I
Yes.
just we're going to commend you and give you your props and your whoop whoops for the things that you have done in your son's life. So just to get a little into your story, after you were done with Warner Brothers, let's actually talk about some of the things that you accomplished while you were with them.
Okay. I toured a lot of different states, recorded, did a lot of different features with people, networked, helped people get on to actual performance platforms that I was on and different things like
Okay.
that. Um, Met a lot of dynamic people in the radio industry, you name it. And I'm continuously going, I'm continuously growing.
Yeah, because you're still moving,
Still
like you're
moving.
still making achievements.
Yeah.
You have your documentary coming
Yes.
out. And we were speaking a little about how you were offered by Lifetime to give them your story, but the fact that you are so passionate about telling your story, just refresh me a little bit of why. Most people think, oh, Lifetime, let me grab a hold to that and get that money. What was your reasonings for turning them down?
I felt like my story was bigger than that.
Okay.
I watched Antoine Fisher before,
Mm-hmm.
and when I watched Antoine Fisher, I was like, wow, he went through some of the stuff that I've been through, but I just believed that my story was a lot deeper.
Mm-hmm.
My story was even more impacting than that story.
Okay.
So I was talking to Lee Davis one time, and he told me, he was like, man, I heard 5 minutes of your story, and your story is more compelling than most of the people that get paid thousands of dollars to tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
He told me you should write a book. He told me these things. So when I get in front of them and they tell me, do this and do that, and it's like, no, my story's way bigger than
Yes.
that.
We ain't gonna cry today, so don't even get me started.
Yeah.
But he really has a dynamic story, and we're going to get a little into that now. I just want to just refresh everybody on a little bit of what you're doing right now. What is it that you have going on? I know you can't mention names and um because of legal rights and things, but you told me a little something about some girls and girls groups and things. I like that you have those things and those connections. Can you give us just a little inkling?
Give you a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I came across a young lady who sings amazing
Mm.
music. Um, for like 30 days, I would pitch her music to various different industry contacts that I collected. I've sent it to, you name it, Big Hef. I sent it to Big Hef with Def Jam. I sent it to 12 music studios that houses like Maybach Music.
Okay.
I had the owner of that actual studio situation. I have her contact, and just various others. You name it. I can keep going. The list is numerous, including Scott Storch. I got his
Okay.
phone number.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Connections.
but
Yes.
one day I knew of a guy, and he's the son of a very big industry group from the '90s. I can't mention no
I
name,
know.
but he listened to her and he really loves her music. So right now we're working on something. Um, God willing, she will be actually 100% approved to be on, um, their label and working with this particular group that they're putting together. So that's my goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That and I admire how you like to help others because you could be a selfish shark, swim through this all by yourself, but instead, I guess we could say you're a whale because whale pick things up on the way. They carry things on their back and things,
Yeah.
and they don't mind. So I actually admire that. So
Yeah.
let's get a little bit into why we have your dad here. A little bit of your story that I would like to start with is the part that compelled me to do this interview was that you guys were taken away and was told that the one person that cared so much about you was gone. And I just want to hear from you, like, just you can tell your story better than me. I don't know what parts to start with. It's so much of it.
Gotcha.
So can we just start from the really the beginning?
Gotcha. All right. So I'm gonna tell some of the story and then I'll stop and let you go from the part where they told us that you were dead. Okay.
Okay.
So when I was a child,
Are we going to cry?
my
All right.
my mother was busy during this time, and she let my uncle watch us, her brother. During the time that he was watching us, we ended up getting up in the vehicle, and he drove off, and we were riding. He got a phone call, and he pulled over. At the time that he pulled over, he reached over, opened the door up, and let me and my sister out. And then he pulled off, telling us he'll be back. At that particular time, dust, and we heard the rocks, and he was gone. So at that particular time, we looked at each other and we just walked. Like we weren't crying, we weren't really scared. Like we were just together and strong. And I just remember we just walked and walked. And during the time that we walked, we ended up looking through some woods and we seen lights because it was starting to get dark. Nobody even stopped to even pull over and say, yo, there's two kids on the side of the highway walking. Nobody called the police, you know, nothing. Nobody even cared. They just drove past us so fast that um, we felt every bit of the wind. So
And you guys were on the highway.
yeah, and I was approximately six, going on seven, somewhere around there.
How old was your sister?
Around 8 or 9.
Okay,
somewhere
she's
around
older
there.
than you.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
She protected you.
Yeah, yeah. I trusted my sister. I was I didn't really.
That's why you weren't scared
Yeah.
though. You had your teammate there.
Yeah.
It's nothing like a sibling.
Yeah. Um, so when we looked through the woods, we noticed that there was some lights. So we followed the lights, and it led us into a parking lot. In the parking lot, we walked a little bit, and it led us to a Checkers restaurant. We went into the Checkers restaurant. They asked us a few questions. We told them what happened. They called the police. They fed us French fries. The police asked us questions. We told them what happened. Then they took us to foster care. At this particular time, this wasn't our first foster home. This is approximately our second foster home. No, I'm sorry. This was our fifth foster home. Fifth foster home.
So whatever initially led you to being in foster care?
The first time, I have a family member. My mom let us, be babysitted by one of my family members. Um, but my mom never came back. Apparently, my mom might have been in jail for a little bit of time.
Okay.
It was something serious. She didn't come back. At that time, they were young. They couldn't take care of us, and they're like calling her, no answer. So they had to make a decision. They called the people, and they came and got us, put us in foster care. During that time, we jumped from house to house, and then eventually, when we went to court with my mother, she was able to get us back.
Okay.
That time. So, just like I said, we were in like 4 different foster homes before this 5th one.
Okay.
And yeah.
It's always been you and your sister though.
Yeah.
That's your back to back.
Yeah.
I call my brother my back to back. That's your back to back.
Yeah.
And we do have your dad here. Like through that time, no disregards to my question, where were you at? Did you not know where they were at? And that's sad because, the mom takes the children. That is our responsibility. We birthed them. So we naturally have, we feel as though, I don't want to even use the word obligation. Sometimes, and this is just coming from a woman and a young mother, we feel like we're entitled to have them. We feel like these are ours. When in reality, sometimes we need that help. A lot of people deal with mental health issues. So I just want to know, like, where were you at? Where were you going through mentally when all of this was going on?
Well, first of all, I didn't even know they were in foster care.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I call up there, like every week I would call up because I want to talk to them. I love my kids. And they would tell me they're not here.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, where are they? They said they're over somebody's house or whatever. So I kept calling. And my wife, I'm still married. My wife my wife's brother told my brother's boyfriend's girl. That's what it is. His girl.
What he's trying to say is my uncle's girlfriend.
Your play on.
Yeah.
Your play on. I got it. He ain't saying nothing wrong.
She kept telling me they're not here. And I said, oh, wow. So she said, you must really want to know where your kids are. I said, yes, I do. I need to know.
Yes.
And she told me they're in foster care. I cried for 3 days. But God told me to get busy.
Yes.
And she gave me the phone number and told me where they were. She did give me that information. I called up there, and the lady that answered the phone, she said, who are you? I said, I'm Ernest Matthews. And you have my kids, I was told. Mm-hmm. She said, what's your kid's name? I said, Ernest Matthews and Crystal
That's
with
me.
a K.
My government.
Matthews. And she said, well, your wife said that you was dead. I said, dead? Hey, I'm very much alive. Can I see my kids?
So that's how it begun with the story that you were dead.
Yeah.
Your son told me your daughter knew you wasn't though.
My daughter said
Crystal with a K knew you wasn't.
Yeah, my daughter told me when I told her the story, she said, Daddy, I knew you wasn't dead. I didn't feel it in my heart. Because we were close growing up. Raising them. We were close.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love my kids. I love them.
I see the way you look at him now. And for you to still have that, he's your little boy look. And then you admire your grandson. I was watching you. I'm an observer. And that, and you speak of our creator. And that's who kept you through. That's who kept you strong.
He is. And God, he's done so much for me because when I had to work 3 to 11, I would pray and put them in God's hands so he can look out for them. And I would tell them, do not have the police come.
Right.
Do not have the police come. Even though I knew they was going to have company. I knew it because I was young too. And
we used to throw them parties down Lormer.
And the police never came. And that was good for me because I didn't care whether they had company.
Right.
The police never came, and that was awesome. I was able to go to work and work in peace because I prayed, so I was at peace.
Right. That's awesome. Throughout. So what years was it? What year did you stop being able to see them? In what year were you able to get them back and reconnect?
Well, my wife lives in Washington D.C. and I live in
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
oh, she
So
took y'all all the way to DC.
no, she
No,
lived
that's where
there.
we're
They're
from.
Okay,
Washingtonians. They're
okay,
Washingtonians.
okay.
I I don't know. I lived here and I kept calling every week to talk to them, and I never got through. Finally, told me it's in foster care. I called them.
And you
I
went and
was
got your
I was
babies.
like 5 or 6. So this
Wait a
is
minute.
like before
First,
before 92. It was like
first I had to
91, 90, somewhere around
first I had to go to court and plead my case. So they gave me a deposition to read, and I went in the room and read it. Then I got on my knees and I prayed.
Yes,
I prayed and I prayed. And when I went to see the judge, I don't remember nothing I said.
that was your
Absolutely
creator speaking
nothing.
through you.
I don't remember, not one word do I remember. And then I got a letter from the court telling me I didn't have to come back because I just don't have to come back. They told me to pick my kids up on the 16th of June. I was jumping up and down. I was almost shouting. I
Yes,
don't know, but I was
yes.
so happy. So 16th, I was there.
The system really failed y'all.
They did.
They did, because no matter what someone tells you, you're supposed to find out where was your death certificate. That needed to be found. But like I tell even my children, I say we all go through a journey for a reason. Look where you're at now. I know you're proud of your son. He has made some great accomplishments, like seriously. So I know that's a good feeling. Like, so what age again was it that you were able to get them?
10 and 12. My
Okay.
daughter was 12 and my son was 10.
I was 9 going on 10.
Well, 9.
It's all right, Dad. Yes.
He was 10. He was 10 to me. I don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So, let's just your story is so like, when will the book be? I don't want to give too much. I want you guys to get this story. You got to hear some of the things that you have been through. I really don't know how much and too much you want to share about what we talked about. You know what I'm saying? But it's like just the abuse that you and your sister went through. The system really failed you guys. I'm so happy you found your kids. There's men that is on the block and they babies walk past them and they don't even acknowledge them or pay them no attention. You went states all about yours. So
And
it's
they
like,
paid my way up there to
okay.
stay in a motel with them for a whole year. I had to
Oh,
go through taking tests. I had to have therapy with one of them, then the other one. Then I had to have therapy with both of them together. It was really ludicrous.
yes.
That's the word that I can use.
Yes, that's
ludicrous,
a perfect word for it.
because it was just crazy, and it took one whole year to
And you
get
stuck
there.
through it and you did it.
I wanted them that bad.
Yes. And you knew that it was going to be, you didn't even care about that challenge of being a single father. Like, you really picked that up and wore that on your back, and you made some very well polished children. Like, that's really, really awesome. How did it feel though? Like, because now that I'm hearing that you guys had to go to therapy and things, that means you heard some of the things that was going on with them. And like,
No, I didn't hear. He told me after it was all over.
okay,
Because we could have had a whole lawsuit.
Yeah, we could have if he had told me right then and there, but he
okay.
didn't. He didn't. He kept that from me for at least a year.
It was a while.
It was a while.
You was
And
just happy.
There's still stuff that I tell him now that he didn't even know. Like, I'm still unraveling a lot of the story. Like, there's so much.
So you were just happy to be back with your father. So did it not matter anymore? Was it like, not saying irrelevant, but was it because of the peace of that love? You did not feel that ever since he left you. From the things you told me that you went through with your mother, the things that you went through whenever you were in the foster system. Like, please stop getting these kids when y'all mean no good towards them. Like your adopted family really is just rotten people. They just get these kids to do rotten things to them. Like it's just that is I had the
Yeah.
only word I could use is sad.
Yeah.
Like and like I really admire you from being able to be here and that like want to eat my plant on no shit like that because people usually go crazy over some of the things that he's been through seriously like and you're still sitting here with a sound mind, your glasses are on straight, we're looking at
Thank you.
each
I'm glad
other.
they are. Sometimes it be cryptic.
Yes,
That's
but
real though.
yes it is.
I had my trials and tribulations, and I had to overcome a lot. Um, like my dad speak of, I always got to give glory to God, because
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to even think straight if it wasn't for him. And I tell you, they the foster system definitely failed us.
Yes.
They were very abusive. They would make me write thousands of sentences. They would beat me. They would make me get up at like 6 in the morning, driving tractor trailer, like not tractor trailers, the cutting grass, the tractors for the grass, little ones, and I would cut acres of land and be out there for a long time till like almost nighttime, raking leaves of acres of land because the foster parents lived on like on land that almost looked like something slaves used to live in, like
And
a
that's
plantation
what
type
I
of
think
situation.
of every time you tell me that. Like
Look,
that's what I
Google
think
the
of.
house, 9200 Balsam Run, Bell Out in Maryland. 9200 Balsam Run, Bell Out in
Do
Maryland.
they still live there?
No.
Oh.
This house had pillars, like big, huge pillars. There was a pool in the back. It was nice. Now I'm gonna tell you, like they had a lot of land. Foxes was out there. To get to our bus stop to the end of the driveway where you even get your mail, you can't just walk. I
You
mean, you
gotta
can
get
walk, but it's
driven.
gonna take a long time, and you in the woods. So it's a driveway and there's number of woods. So you might want to like ride a bike or
So
something.
you had to do this before you went to school? You had to cut grass and things before you
Not
went
not
to
necessarily,
school?
not necessarily before school. Like this was like more like summertime work. Like if they, if I peed in the bed or something like that, and they had me washing stuff out for 24 hours in front of a sink. That was more like summertime stuff.
Mm.
During school, like if I peed, they would make me wear that same pissy outfit to school. Yeah,
What?
if I caught a hole in my pants, if I had a hole in my pants, like in the private area, a big huge hole, oh, you're gonna wear them, and I would wear them every day, pissy, everything. Like I mean, it was bad. Like I was not taken care of. Like they really, they made me sleep outside. Every time I told them the truth, um, they would say, "No, that's not how it happened. It happened like this." And until I agreed, I wasn't off the hook. I had to sit there, you know. So it was rough, but we went through therapy. When I left there, I automatically was okay with leaving that behind.
Yes.
The hurt, with my mom and just the hurt with the foster care system. I didn't really wear it on my shoulders to where it was like I'm angry with them.
Yeah.
I always had such
I'm angry
I
with
forgive
them.
them.
I'm not going to lie to you. Ever since I met you, I have been angry with them. People are going to read this story. They are going to be angry with them. We all have been through trauma. I'm just one of those people that like it hurts me to see people hurt.
Yeah,
But I'm excited that you overcame that and became victorious.
yeah.
So I guess the analogy of the scarecrow man, did it have something to do with like that living, that upbringing that you were going through them years with that family?
I would say all experiences, good and bad.
Okay.
When you think of a scarecrow, you think of something that you created to scare the crows away. Something that scares something away is not attractive
Right.
in itself.
Right.
When I wrote Scarecrow, man, it was about influences. As people, we're influenced by many different people in our life, and these influences, bad and good, have impacted us in a way to where we are who we are.
Mm.
Through relationships, through family members, through challenges, through school, bullies, all of these things. Bullies will make you tougher.
Right.
Tough relationships will make you
Stronger.
stronger. And
Yes.
sometimes it causes walls to be built up, but they all influence you to be who you are as a
Mhm.
person through each process. So when it comes to a scarecrow, the influence as far as a scarecrow, I used it as clothing, the items that's on the scarecrow. So basically, a scarecrow might have your shirt, his pants, his gloves on the arms or something, and my hat. It has all of these pieces to become this being or this thing, and I call that the influence because it wouldn't be nothing if it wasn't for everybody who contribute something to this scarecrow.
Good and
So
bad.
scarecrow
I like
man,
that.
I always looked at myself as like scarecrow man. Like I'm a person who's super real. Like I don't want to, be fake. Um, that have been influenced by a lot of good and a lot of bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
You want a double high five on that?
Let's do it.
Double high five. 1, 2. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I could agree with that. We all have those experiences. So, let's get, before we end this off, I would like for you, is it possible that we can get a tidbit of the book? Like a little bit of the book, the beginning?
All right, I can read something over to
And while you're getting that, let's double high five me and you, boo. Yes. Getting them kids, honey. Yes. 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 That's wonderful. It really is.
So I started it out. It's called The Unexpected.
Okay.
It starts out with the dream. All right. Dreams seem to happen more often of the same story. Riding fast in a pickup truck while my uncle was distracted with the most intense conversation on his phone. We drove on what seemed to be a highway and he pulled over. I keep hearing the sound of the rocks when the tires drove on them, and I keep seeing the dust rise afloat surrounding the car. He reached over us and grabbed the door handle, aggressively pushed the door open as he told us to get out. The dust surrounded us while he sped off, saying he'd be right back. 2 kids standing there alone with no idea what to do next. But I guess that is what it feels like to be a part of the unexpected. The next section is I need to talk to someone. So now it goes into the future as me as an adult. And I said, I woke up this morning by the loud sound of an alarm clock. I tend to turn the first alarm off and I lie there until the second alarm comes on. And once I heard it, I got up, put my slippers on and proceeded to go shower. Shaved, brushed my teeth, got dressed and made some tea. I cooked an egg and made some toast. Moreover, I sat at the table in deep thought about the overall things that have happened in my life. I never really took the time out to deal with these events when that happened to me in my life. And I often think about them and I see them as being very important situations that have impacted who I am today. Something is a bit different today for me. I actually have this urge to start dealing with some issues that I never allowed myself to deal with. I have often banished it up and looked away from it, and doing that isn't the best way to deal with things. Now, I know I said in the book that I haven't been able to deal with things. So this part of the book, as far as me showering and stuff like that, I had to embellish a little bit. So this is not like a real situation at this particular point of the book, as far as me sitting there and thinking.
I'm sorry, you made me cry just a little bit.
I have been able to deal with the things throughout my life, but I'm trying to position myself to be able to go and talk to a therapist so the therapist can ask me questions that will tell the story.
Okay.
So I had to create this scene. Okay. So that's why I said that. So let me just read this part. This is our last part. It says, so it's true, I haven't taken a serious act to deal with how these moments have affected me growing up. So after I ate, I began to look through the internet from my phone and contacted a therapist. The more I sought out, the more I realized that I needed one that would give me the type of counsel that would help me most. Once I found one through making several calls and asking questions that would allow me to obtain the right service, one in particular was perfect. The right type, price, location, availability. And yes, I said location. It was 10 minutes away from my house. I set up the appointment for a few days from now, and I believe I'm ready to make some changes. And it was to start by purging a bit. being honest and letting someone into my life to help guide me through these dark moments. Staring at them again and working through it will bring forth an outcome of healing for me. And this is what I needed most. How can I be able to bring someone in my life if I'm all messed up? Based off of my track record with relationships, they haven't worked out for me. One thing is for sure, it's not all their fault. Now I'm ready to deal with me. And then I go into the therapy session. And that's when I start talking about the stories. So the unexpected. It's deep.
Well, when can we? I'm most definitely going to support you. That's because everybody doesn't. You're not able to hear everything that you've been through.
Yeah.
Right now you're just giving us a little snippet. Boy, you got me crying. I'm about to choke you. It's okay. It is okay.
Yeah.
But our creator really is going to bless you to be dynamic and to make sure that I know we can't change the whole world, but hopefully this story touches somebody that is going through what you are going through. Like to be a kid and to be like, dropped off on the highway, and then on top of that, to keep having to go through trauma. I'm just so excited to tell the awesome part of your story, the moves that you are making, to look at you, a person, like you said, a scarecrow. You're looking at that scarecrow like, what is your purpose? What are you know what I'm saying? Like, it's defined as something that is supposed to push you away and scare you. Your redefinition of that, I really actually like it and I admire it. So one more again before we leave off. Is it possible that we can get a little bit of the song? Like, can you do maybe the hook of the song for us if you can?
Can I do a little bit of the verse?
Whatever part you want to do.
All right, let me see. Let me stand up a little bit.
All right, stand up.
You were made of many pieces. Your daddy wasn't there that left you seeking. Seems your mama doesn't care if a man by the weekend. Thy sex made you a man that made you freaky, and had you chasing girls on the weekdays. No knowledge of manhood, got you drowning in the deep end. Imitating all the folk that you're seeing. Pulling from different people, the better man. Got your cover looking gritty, looking up the people.
Yes. Oh, really? You want to stop right there?
You know
it's all right. It's all right. I saw getting positioned. I was ready. Yes.
Say scarecrow man. Get built up by man-handed. It scare people away. Your heart is full of ugliness. Say scarecrow man. Get built up by man-handed. Scare people away. Your heart is full of ugliness. Why don't you think that you can guide your own life? Duplicating the actions of others, not living the real life. You suffer from low self-esteem. Wow. Cover your own. Homie, this not right. I tell you, homie, this not life. On the outside, your life is a mess. Inside, your life is a wreck. And I know the God that can come and correct. Surrender your life to be under his rest. Under his rest. Surrender your life, put the guard down.
Yes.
A little something.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Soon I will have an audience and they would have been clapping. They'd have been crying. You'd have had us all in here crying because you got me ready to cry some more. But we're going to end this off most definitely positive. So what do you have coming up next? Like the book is dynamic. Your story's dynamic. The song, what is next? What do you have coming next?
I'm gonna continue to work on some music, ghostwriting for different people. I'm always looking for people to write for.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna continue to finish this book. The goal is to try to get it done before this year's out. That's my goal. I want to have it completely written within the next 2 months.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Okay.
So also, continue to manage a few artists that I've been working with. I've been working with a young lady out in London too as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Big things.
So yeah.
Tell them how they can get in touch with you for management opportunities. Uh, Anyone that wants to sponsor his story, any outlets, any vendors, anybody that wants to reach out to this man, tell them how they can get in touch with you.
I am CaNino Spaid on Facebook, on Instagram,
Can you
on
spell
Twitter.
CaNino for them?
Yes, CaNino. Spaid is Spaid.
All right.
So my email is canino.music.cm@gmail.com. And that's canino.music.cm@gmail.com.
All right.
Contact me.
One last question. How'd you get the name CaNino Spaid?
It's a city in Italy.
Oh.
CaNino is a city in Italy. Um, there was a gang called the Black Spades, and since they were black, a spade is black, so it's like it was like something CaNino black,
Yeah.
Just something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And because you spell spade differently also.
yeah, I spell it differently. I added the spade later because it was just something different. Uh, I really liked it. A guy named Andre Cleveland on my Facebook page. He's the guy who actually named me CaNino.
Okay.
And I tweaked it a little bit. Can I know like CaNino, like asking a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions like, can I know this? Can I know that?
Okay.
So some people be like, can I know? You know
Okay, I get it now.
I like to research and read books, and I'm constantly learning and listening to different things. So, yeah.
Well, let's hug. Me and you over the table. Over the table. Yes. I really, really admire you. I thank you for coming. Yes, yes. And as far as you, what do you have coming up?
Another thing.
You got
just here.
You just here?
Relaxing on retirement.
Yes, that's awesome. You got some dates coming up?
Dates?
Oh, no dates?
No, I broke up with my lady friend, girlfriend, or whatever you want to call her. I broke up with her.
You sure? What
Not
color
right
you
now.
like them? You like them brown?
Well, I was married to a brown lady.
Oh, did she run you
She
away
was
from us?
awesome.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
She
Pretty
was
brown,
so
brown.
beautiful.
Yes.
Her hair was
Long.
She
Yes.
was beautiful.
Is that your mother?
Yeah.
Yes. You are handsome. You could tell your
Thank
mom
you.
and dad mixed well.
Thank
Double high five. So did mine. Boom, boom.
You should see
Yes.
my daughter.
Oh, I believe she's
Yeah,
beautiful.
She's gorgeous. She looked like
Yes.
Left Eye.
Like, oh,
Got the
yes.
chinky eyes.
Yes. Well, it was such an honor to have this interview with you guys. Your son will be back in 6 months, so we can see all his progress and the things that he has done with the book and everything. And are you going to come back with them?
Yeah, if he invites me. 'Cause
That's
I wouldn't know no
awesome.
other way.
That's awesome. And
'Cause
one
we're
more,
close.
yes. And one thing before we leave off, this young man is a very awesome, awesome father. His son is, well, it doesn't matter if your kids are cute or not, but I'm just saying your son is very, very handsome.
Thank
And
you.
he's so well behaved and he's very intelligent.
Appreciate it.
To that, yes.
My sister tells me all the time, she'd be like, E, you remind me of dad.
See,
So I go so hard for my kid.
that's
You know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? Like-
That's what's up.
Like I be on these fathers. If you read my posts on Facebook, you'll see I go hard on these dads out here. Like, go get your kids, yo. You watch these fight videos, I be like, yo, get your kids, man.
Got to.
I'm tired of seeing your kids running around. Mom got them, but dads, go get your kids.
Yeah, and it's hard to be a single parent. And you guys both know that.
I give
you
it up
know?
to the ladies. I
Yeah,
don't care what nobody say.
yeah.
Ladies, us dads, we do it, but no, them women really do it.
Y'all don't get looked at the way that we do when like you got to go to work and things like that. It's more so like we get put in a position where we have to, like, for a very long time I have to pick my kids over my career. I've been wanting to do this, but I wanted a better life for them than what I was offered.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to do this now. My baby's 3 now. He's able to walk on his own and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So I miss them sometimes. You get so used to constantly being with your children. So like it's Sunday, I make sure I hurry up and cook for them and things, but I still miss that embrace sometimes. So
Yeah.
shout out to y'all for doing doing your duty. Women, please take care of your kids. And we have to learn how to be a partnership in this parenting thing. Sometimes we don't have to always get along, but let's be partners so that our child can be well nourished and loved. And, you know, it's like a tree. If you plant that seed, you love that seed, you feed that seed, it eventually grows and gives oxygen, right or wrong.
That's real.
We need trees, we need plants. We have to treat our kids. You know what? That's what we're going to tell these parents. Get a goddamn plant first. And if you can't take care of that damn plant, don't have no kids. Yeah. I used to always say, get a pet. And if that dog run or that cat run every time you walk inside the room, you ain't ready to be in a relationship. So now I got something for the kids. If you can't raise a flower, don't raise no child. So we're going to end it on that note. Thank you again. I'm so happy to see the things that you got coming. Thank you for bringing it down here to Grandma Worldwide. Can you do it for me one time? Because my mouth is heavy and I can never read it out. Can you read where you're at right now?
I'm at gmworldwideradio.com. Grind Mode Worldwide Radio. That's where we at. That's Danielle Moore.
Yes.
Honey, we in the building.
Yes. CaNino Spaid.
Ernie Matthews.
Ernie Matt. Hey. What church do you attend? I did hear you speaking of your creator. So
well, now I go to Faith.
Faith?
Presbyterian.
Okay.
I don't belong there.
Oh, that's all right. They gonna want you after this. It's like they were like, we got a celebrity. Yes. Well,
put him up there next to the pastor.
Yes. So I made my own theme music. Well, I stole it. It goes do 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 do. Don't worry. Do 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 do.
Be happy.
Yes. Do 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 do. So make sure to be sure to tune in to Danielle Moore with my exclusive interviews. Of course, you will see me on Wednesday with my Women's Wednesday, where we drop exclusive hot tracks that we have here in the Berg. So, and you guys see me with Ann James and Jordan. You know, you see me all through here. Make sure you catch us on Saturdays. We are out at Elegance every Saturday, catching the best dress, male and female. We're also taking photos. We also got live videos. So come on out there. You know, we have the best chicken. So once again, this is Grind Mode Worldwide. And you seen that live. It was popping last night, wasn't it? You kind of wanted to come, didn't you?
I seen it.
Yes. So as I was saying, Grind Mode Worldwide Radio. Catch us at the App Store. Download that app. It is GMWW Radio. I be trying to find it on people's iPhones, and I always put our Google Play, which is Grind Mode Worldwide Radio. But again, on the App Store, it is GMWW Radio for Apple users like myself. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at GMWW Radio. Also on Facebook, as you already know, Grind Mode Worldwide Radio. And also subscribe and watch me, y'all. Come watch me on Grind Mode Worldwide Radio on, what is that? The YouTube. Yes. I was about to say Instagram again, but it's YouTube. So make sure you follow me. If anybody has any songs they want to drop to us, anything they need us to review, any management that is needed, you want to set up our studio. You came down to the studio. Did you like that party that we had?
Definitely.
Yes, yes. Malika, he hooks us up. So yes, anything that you need, hit us in the email at gmwwradio@gmail.com. And if you want me, again, I am on Instagram, I'm Danielle Iris, Danielle.Iris. On Facebook, I am Danielle Moore, of course. And on Twitter, I'm getting that popping, so hit me up so I can remember to go on there. I only stay on Facebook and Instagram. But on Twitter, I'm Danielle.Iris on there too. Spelled regularly, DANIELLE. No Y's, no double I's, none of that. Thank you, originator. So, see you guys later. Yes.